guys, thanks for stopping by for another episode. Welcome on back. Here we are finally back at it, and yes, it has actually been a few days, but I do have a good excuse. I was on vacation. I went away just very last minute to Las Vegas for my friend's birthday, so that was kind of fun. And when I got back, I had to go like right away to work, so unfortunately I've been a little bit busy with real life stuff, but you know, these things happen. But we finally got some time to sit down and play and enjoy the game. And I have some really good suggestions too, so I'm glad I kind of waited a few extra days to kind of get back into it. So I'm going to use some of those in this episode here. More specifically, I think we're going to start leaning away from these little impromptu grid style neighborhoods. We really need a lot more curves in this road. So I think what we're going to do for this episode is kind of lay out some of the larger roads, say like the 4-lane avenues, make that little in-town motorway. And then we can start shaping some of the neighborhoods around that, but I want to make them nice and curved, just to kind of make it feel like it's a little bit more organic for the growth. And we're going to use, again, pretty much the topography to kind of shape everything. And I really like this park. It's kind of cool. Thought you guys like it too. So I had a really cool suggestion come in, and I can't wait to do this. I just know where we're going to, I haven't figured out where we're going to do it yet. Probably in a spot we just haven't built yet, right? But someone said that we should be doing a nice big park, you know, this size or so, but in the shape of a Union Jack, and then kind of color it in with the right color flowers and that kind of stuff. So overhead we could just see that, and that would just be like wicked awesome. So we will pick a spot for that eventually, and I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to do it. I'll surprise you guys with it, but that'll be really cool. Yeah, so far so good. I'm really enjoying the city. So these kind of grids, I don't want to do too much of this anymore. Might even break one of these up. We're going to kind of go towards these little, you know, curvy roads like that. Okay, well, let me just jump right in here. And actually, I have a few custom assets I've been downloading. And there's one I wanted to throw right over here, actually. And this spot here probably works. It's like a big old mansion kind of thing. That's kind of cool. From the olden days, you know, maybe it's converted, could be like a museum now or something, or a heritage site. Who knows? Okay, let's put a pedestrian path just through here so people can walk, and then that makes it feel like there's a little more of an established kind of backyard here. Oh, we can probably put some hedges around the whole grounds as well. Oh goodness, here I am saying I'm going to start by doing our expressway and whatnot, and we are planting trees. Well, sidetracked is the name of this game. Okay, so let's go the whole way down. Let's do our best to do a straight line here. And I've been downloading, yeah, quite a few assets. Not too many that are UK themed just yet. I still gotta find a whole bunch. So keep on suggesting those, s'il vous plaît. And that is not straight at all right there. But my goal is to have a few just concentrated little shopping zones. And just have some familiar shops, you know, for you guys. Like, I already have a few, because, like, some of them are essentially universal. Like, I've got some that we could use, like an IKEA, I've got some Esso gas stations, like that kind of stuff, right? And I'm positive I have at least one or two actual UK buildings. So when we come across those, we'll place them, but we'll see how time goes. And this was just a little afterthought, right, when I was starting the episode to put this in. And then I didn't want to slip my mind, which is why we're doing it right now. Too bad you can't draw a straight line and just have the trees all plant right afterwards. The same way you do with a like a dirt road or something. It'd be kind of cool, actually. And then you could just pick the tree afterwards. Oh, what a neat little mod that might be one day. Alright, well that's kind of fun. And we can probably do something else to this a little bit later on, maybe. But just make this area feel... Oh, you know what we should probably do in front of it is like a graveyard or something in a church. Oh boy. Here we are, getting distracted again. Okay, so what first? I guess the graveyard. And we can put one of the... Actually, I downloaded like Westminster Abbey, like those kind of assets, but I just haven't really unlocked them yet because they're part of the unique buildings. But I'm excited to use those a little bit later on. Okay, let's motor through this. Oh, actually, that's a rather large... I forgot how big these things were. Alright, well, let's just do that for the moment. That's pretty cool. Using the space a little bit more efficiently, I think, as well. And that'll look pretty sharp, I think, once the rest of the buildings fill in. And then let's maybe not zone right here. There. Okay. Now, anarchy off for that, and let's go into our little motorway. And so I had a suggestion to do a national road, which is part of the I think the network extensions mod. And that, I don't see why it wouldn't work, but my other idea was to do two one-way roads that were just like 1 unit apart. So maybe we can do one of each and... Oh, I have these backwards. I'm not sure which one I would like more in terms of a look. So it'd either be something like this, or something like this. Just like a single road. Would it be a single lane? No, I think it would be a double lane. Alright, well let's start with this, and then we can always change something down the road. Alright, now again, we don't need this to be overly symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to start any old which way. We'll clean up the little on-off ramp to this roundabout. Afterwards, let's just kind of follow the way this hill kind of goes. Again, there's no real direction we're going. We're just kind of going with the hill. We're slowly making our way back here, though. There. That's kind of cool. Definitely not straight or grid-like. Okay, now here's the hard part. Can we get these guys to follow one another? I'll do my best. I won't redo these like 100 million times, but I think if we go kind of slow and follow more or less the same curve, I think we can do a pretty good job. And I did let the game run a little bit, so our population is a bit higher. We have some extra spending money right now, which is great. And it's not too clean. Alright. One little touch-up. Otherwise, we'll just kind of... We'll see how she goes. So I don't mind if we go broke in this episode, because I can always just run the game again for a little bit. So maybe towards the end we can buy another unique building or something. I think the approach is very even for that. I mean, since we've gone this far, making it look even, might as well go the last little bit. I think what we had to do was maybe... Oh, I need to do this in 2 steps. Oh goodness, what have I done to myself? So we'll go like this. Go like that, just to create a new intersection point, just to back that up slightly. Bring the sun back up. We can pause the game actually, just give ourselves an ideal sunlight. And you can now insert your jokes about the rain in the UK. Actually, quite a few jokes about traffic and that kind of stuff too in the rain, so... Okay, now again, I know that's not too clean, but we'll fix that in a second. All I need is just something relatively simple to get these guys on and off this roundabout without creating too much chaos. Okay, now obviously we'll change the directions after. Okay, so let's just go, say like this. And then maybe we have to curve a little bit first. Yep, I think so. Okay, so let's turn on our arrows here. Actually, let's just connect everything first, then we can kind of fix our directions. Okay, so I think we'll have to back this up slightly. No, that's not it. Okay, well, I can always change this approach. This is not set in stone. And then so when we're done with this, we're going to do something similar with just like the 4-lane roads, just to get a little bit of the feel of the larger picture of the city. Okay, so we'll get that like that. And that like that. Awesome. Okay, let's get these directions going. And I'll double check these just to be safe. Because knowing me, I'll probably miss one thing. Hopefully not, though. Alright. And then when I'm doing these kind of things, I'll still kind of mentally keep some space open for, you know, some trains or maybe like a busway or something. I don't like to make things too dense. Like in the beginning, you don't really have much choice because you're kind of low on cash. You got to use like almost every single zone possible when you're just getting stuff placed. But you know, when you're starting to do this kind of stuff, just when you're stretching your legs, give yourself some room, type of thing. If that makes any sense. Alright, well these look good to me. I think we're okay. Perfect. And they're not too sharp for the on and off right there. Alright, now let's bring this around. And again, luckily we've got lots of money right now, so I'm not overly worried. And then this can be eventually upgraded to either a tramway, or we can put some bus lanes on here. Really anything is possible. So the same kind of idea, we're just kind of going with the flow of the hill here. Nothing too steep in terms of the drop, nothing too sudden. No real need for the game to kind of create a bridge or anything. This way now you can see overhead, we're just really breaking away from the grid-like pattern. And then we can just do some connected neighborhoods to here. They kind of break off and just have like their own little feel. So you wouldn't really use them to kind of drive, you know, to the next little area. You just kind of go in here only if you live here, or if you want to shop there, type thing. I think that's a little bit of a better method for just managing traffic. And I was just thinking we could probably be doing a little back entrance into our industrial area, just from like up here maybe. Let's just do something. Okay. That means traffic's not reliant on that one road to get in. Okay, so why don't we do just something like this? Keep the intersections spaced apart. But this should be a little bit faster moving than if we were to make this into a four-way intersection. And then we can even do just something like this as well. You know, that can probably be done a little nicer. Why don't we go straight like that first, and then we'll curve into this right there. That's better. Yeah, I quite like that. And then, you know, these can kind of sweep around or something too once we kind of figure out our coastal corridor for all the, you know, the bike paths and all that other stuff. Okay, so let's press play, and let's start building. Let some people zone in around here, so we'll put the sun down. Let's maybe get the city growing as we're doing this. Oh, and between last episode and this episode, I did upgrade the highway, as you can probably see over here. It is now lovely highway pieces. And I actually changed all the roundabouts in town to 3 lanes. And again, this is something that's part of the network extensions mod, but with the goal in mind for this was to get people to stop parking in the roundabouts, because I found that to be horribly unrealistic. And we should probably do the same thing over here. Because with the default roads, people can park on the 2-lane one-way streets. And in real life, no one would ever park on, you know, something that would be part of a motorway, or like this expressway on and off of a highway or something. So to kind of keep with the realism factor, I feel like we should probably upgrade these as well. But they're going to be an in-town speed, which was kind of the goal we're going for, so nothing too fast here. So I'm actually, we probably should have done our little parkway that we just built also with these roads. So maybe we can just go over there and upgrade that too. That's not too hard to do. Okay. And then I want to start just building, yeah, a few neighborhoods. We'll get some people coming over here, because you can see in our industrial zone we've got some calls for some more workers. And we definitely have some demand for it too, so. And again, I wish there was a little bit faster way to do this. Well, I guess we could just go. This was also came in from a comment that if you click and drag, you can see which ones you're upgrading, which is pretty convenient. I've actually never done this before. Now that I'm doing it, I like it. Okay, perfect. That is all that done. Excellent. And now we're going to need a few connection points just to kind of get on and off. And then these, I mean, I like to steer away from making a traffic light, so maybe we can just have a little bridge and make some, just very simple, like a little, maybe a diamond interchange. Which is like some very minor, like, you know, roundabouts at the end of it type thing. Okay, so let's just try something maybe like this. So maybe that can be an intersection with a light. And then when we go down over here, why is that slope too steep, I wonder? How far do you have to be? Well, that's interesting. I wonder why the case is for that. Still the same. Oh, no, I have to go far for that. Now, what happens if I destroy that? I see. Okay, well, I'll just use this. Or, let's build our roundabout on this. Okay, so let's do 5 units. Okay, that's fine. That fixes that. Actually, a little bit of a bigger roundabout than I was originally envisioning. You know what? Honestly, maybe we can make this a little bit of a busier area. So, I think that's an okay size. And then, I guess we're going to still use these, just for the sake of not having anyone park on them. Or we could use, or say these, the one-laners. That's also not a bad idea. And then maybe we can just do a curve or something. Something like that. Kind of hide it away a little bit. And then just, you know, same kind of idea over here. Oh no, we destroyed the shape of our roundabout. Okay, so let's redo the roundabouts. And then the way to avoid having that happen, I'll kind of show you guys the trick. Can't remember if I've done that before yet, but either way we'll see it. And actually this gives us a chance to make this a little bit smaller, so maybe we'll make it 4 units. It's not too much smaller, but just enough. Alright. Now, in order to keep the shape, just draw roads right through it. And that's going to be a little bit of a troublemaker. So maybe we can get them with these roads. There we go. Alright, so starting this again. Okay. Hopefully this is going to be easy. It's the steepness of the slope, you say. Okay, well, let's try removing one of the roads and hoping for the best here. Okay. That works for me. Doesn't have to be, you know, the best looking road. It just has to function, I think, for these kind of spots. Alright, let's just find the points. Now I wonder if this is also a steepness issue. I imagine so. You know, we can definitely connect on that side. Okay, well, since that's the case, we'll just go like this. That's fine. It just might affect slightly how we'll connect other roads to this thing. Okay, that works for me. And then we'll just use the pre-existing snap points on the other road connection. But what we'll do to keep it looking a little bit different is we'll just go like this, and maybe curve this coming out. And then this can just end in, say, a roundabout or so. Then we can make some more smaller neighborhoods kind of connect to that. Because I picture this as somewhat of a, I want to say like an in-town suburb, but just like that kind of feel. Like maybe not too high density, but definitely a lot of people living here. And something like this, you know. Sorry about that, guys. My poor voice. I work trade shows at, like, you know, it's so random when I say this, but yeah, I work trade shows like every once in a while for my friend. I usually lose my voice just from talking so much. So one just ended yesterday, so my poor voice is all scratchy, so I do apologize. Hope you guys don't mind. Okay, so sorry, back to this. And let's just do the on and off ramps for just the other side here. And now what we could do, which I think we might actually end up doing, is making a roundabout right here, and then just doing something in the same kind of ballpark over on this side. And I think just for a little bit of symmetry, because I think that stuff's still important, we'll do our roundabout off of this road. I think, you know, keep things kind of in line. Oh, and I'm going to get into the habit again of just using these things so that no one parks on them. Okay, I think that was 4 units. Let's just do that again. Cool. Alright, so yeah, that was pretty easy. That's a good improvement, I think, too. So these will just connect right to the snap points. And there. Okay. I think that can be smoothed out. And maybe we can just make that a little bit better. Oh, and this is a little bit random, but definitely something I want to start doing. So when I do get a little bit more spare time, I want to start making some assets for the workshop. And I've had quite a few requests for some parks, which I'm totally, I have no problem doing that. So I will keep you guys posted on progress. But it's just basically going to be like when I have spare time, which is these days. I mean, there's not too much of it, and usually when I do have spare time, I'm kind of making, you know, videos for you guys. So. But just, you know, on the horizon, essentially. So just keep an eye out for that. Okay, that's starting to look a little bit nicer, I think. I wish this wasn't so steep. Okay, well, let's change that. Maybe we can use the snap point over here, too. Yes, we can. Alright, well, I guess we'll change the whole thing here. Oh, and we're not using the right kind of roads. And we'll just change this direction. Alrighty. That works for me. Still a little bit of that steepness issue happening. Oh my goodness, what is that all about? Well, I mean, it's going uphill, so I mean, it's not as bad on the downhill, so I mean, I think it just looks worse than it is. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, what we could do to solve this would be to make a wider roundabout, which means we have to change that roundabout, but... What would it look like maybe if we... Alright, oh goodness, this is going to take... This seems silly, but... Let's do this rather quickly. Okay, so we can just back this up slightly so we know how to reconnect that. It's like once you do something once, it's, in my opinion, very easy to kind of repeat it. So I'll just blow through this rather quickly. Hope you guys don't mind that. I'm going to give myself more units here so that this approach is not as steep. And we might have a little bit more room to work with now. So we'll use these roads. We'll make a 5-unit roundabouts. Perfect. Sorry guys, I'm just, you know, sometimes I get a little bit all over the place, and then you envision one thing and it never really works out, and then, you know, it's the endless debate. It's like, do you fix it? Do you not fix it? Do you fix it later? And it'll haunt your dreams if you don't. So there we go. That's better. And then again, just for the sake of a little bit of symmetry, I find that it would just look a little bit strange if those were just not the same size. So very easy for us to just redo this as well. And it's these little things that I think kind of make the city look a little bit nicer in the long run. Especially if you're always kind of taking your time. And now that the roundabout is a bit bigger, we can kind of curve in. It doesn't look as tight. Yeah, that's a little bit nicer. There we go. I quite like that. Yeah, not much of a change, but just enough, I think, to kind of make the area a bit nicer. And this is kind of cool too, because they're kind of offset, and that will flow a little bit more smoothly with traffic. Okay, so now this part. There's a snap point. That was easy. And even though nothing's ever easy, so I shouldn't even say that. Now, you know what? Just to be safe, let's draw no sense having to redo this a third time. Okay. Having some deja vu here. Alright, well, why don't we come from this way? And go like this, and just connect like that. And let's do the same thing over here. And that works too. Oh my goodness, it's telling me to slip. Oh, it is. Oh boy. Yeah, we're really having deja vu. Okay, well, my goodness, I guess we're using these snap points again. Okay. And then what we'll do after this is we'll add in some neighborhoods, and then we'll put in some services, and then we'll see how high we can get the population just before we run out of time here. So I'm going for some unlocks. I definitely want to get some more tiles, get some more services, start moving to some bigger projects, get our high density going. Lots of ambitious plans for the city. Oh, and last thing I'll point out, which I totally forgot to talk about earlier, is I downloaded a road texture package. So hopefully the roads look a little bit cooler. Reminds me of the in-game ones. You guys can tell the difference or not, but crosswalks are different, you know. Little yellow dashes here. It's supposed to be a UK themed pack, but I'm not 100% sold on it. Either way, it looks pretty cool compared to the default, but I was kind of expecting something a little bit different there. Now, what in the heck is going on here? Still the same issue forever and ever and ever in this spot, eh? Okay, so let's go 4, 5, I mean. Aha. Does that actually work though? I think it, yeah, actually it does, and I don't think I would ever really notice a difference unless I was the one that, you know, the one that made it. Okay, well there we go. All right. I like that. So can we reproduce this on this side? I think we should be able to. Okay. Let's try and go about the same kind of area. I might have that same issue with the slope, though. Oh, cool. Nice. Oh, yep. Oh, don't do this to me. Oh, yes. Oh, okay, I like it. All right. Hey, all right. Very simple. Maybe this one could even curve a little bit more, just what matches the other little intersection. Otherwise, all right indeed. I'm definitely liking this. There we go. Cool. Alright, well let's start making some neighborhoods, just so we can get at least a little bit of an idea of what's going to be happening over here. And then let's just kind of start over here, and we can work our way backwards, I guess. And then we can have a few streets that are these, I want to say wider. They're only wider because you can park on them. They're only using the one lane for traveling. But let's put a few of these in. And again, let's just kind of make the, you know, I mean, it hints at symmetry, right? But let's make it feel like it kind of, you know, grew organically. Let's do just, you know, curves that kind of follow curves, but they don't have to be perfect. You know, just like that kind of stuff, right? It has, from overhead, a little bit of a cool kind of feel to it. And then the inner ones, we can just do, you know, like maybe one or two just streets like this, just to get some more grids in, just for some spacing. And I guess we'll just do the one there, because that's pretty efficient. And then like over here, just in between these rows, we can go like this. You know, just something like that, right? Nothing too crazy. And let's possibly steer away from doing too many intersections that are four ways. I guess we'll allow maybe one or two here and there. Yeah. I mean, it's not too crazy. And we're not going to zone over there, so let's maybe sneak another set of roads. Just ever so slightly. We can even do another four-way like this. Just connect these all up. Oh yeah, this is cool. I like this little neighborhood already. I like it a lot. And then can we connect this to the roundabout? Yes. Winner. That's neat. That is definitely neat. Alright, well let's start zoning in here. Let's bring in pipes and everything. Let's start making a new residential neighborhood over here. Otherwise, alright. Because my goal when I was about to start the episode, I was like, don't plan anything too much in your head. Just let it kind of just happen. And I think this is kind of neat. I won't lie, at first I was like, what in the heck are you even attempting, sir? But now that I see it, this is fun, right? It kind of curves, everything kind of works with the other things. And we can find a way to connect. I mean, we could even do like a tunnel or something underneath here just to get from that avenue to this avenue. So not everyone's kind of bottleneck on that one little stretch. Yeah, let's do that too. Why not? We're having fun and we're on a roll. I like it. So we'll make this work as best we can. I have a feeling that might be the case. And again, it's too bad that the mods aren't all working, because I would love to have the fine road heights right now. But you know what? These things happen. Can't cry over spilled milk, right? I mean, you can, but it's like, what is that? No, it doesn't accomplish anything. There we go. Perfect. Nice little bypass. I like this even more now. I like that it's hidden too. Okay, so I will put the speed on. And you know, we're gonna need some electricity. Let's just temporarily run some lines over here. And let's put the services in first. Oh my goodness, as suspected, we are entirely out of money. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. You crazy man. Okay. I said I don't mind going broke, so we'll take a loan, pay that off, take that right back. That's perfect. Okay, so 60,000, I can buy some services. Especially if we leave it on 3-speed. Alright, we just won't buy the most expensive ones, I guess. Okay, so we need a clinic over here. That is a must. Preferably near a roundabout, just for faster flow. Yeah, the hills are kind of a little challenging over here, aren't they? Oh, even near here would be kind of nice, because then we get a little bit of a double action. So yeah, let's go right here. That way they can just go. Yeah, that's perfect. Unfortunately, the parking lot's going to be impossible to use, but those kind of things I don't worry too much about. Okay, so fire coverage also a must over here. And we don't unlock that one just yet. Well, let's use this building here. This is a nice looking one. And fire coverage, I mean, we're gonna need a lot of it on this side anyway, so we could even put this up here. Or let's put it right there. Right at that intersection, that's a good spot. And then we could probably use a police station over here. I don't see why we wouldn't need one. Although crime is doing pretty well so far. But you know, we want to make our community feel safe over here. Let's put that right there. Alright, schools. Definitely the church one, because that's a great looking building. And, oh, it'd be so nice on the top of one of those streets, but I will take, oh, even anywhere. Maybe in the middle like this, that'll be nice. How does it look now that it's not centered? I don't think this is the right spot for it, but we're close. Well, that could be it, but that's also not quite it. Oh, maybe here. Nope, I guess not. Sometimes the game, it just speaks to you. Other times it says, what are you doing? There we go. That probably works better with the hill. Yes, I think I like that. Okay, so bring the sun back up. There goes all of our money again. And it's a pretty steep drop, but at the same time, if we put some trees and stuff all in here, that could actually be kind of cool. So we'll keep that. That's a little bit on the border, though, for what I normally do. Just in terms of like a little bit of realism. Okay. So let's get some zoning. Alright. And I'm not going to zone on the roundabouts. Just did that just for, you know, the simplicity of being able to just draw with this. Try and avoid it here, though. And again, probably a little bit easier just to do this. Now, I won't be zoning next to the church either. I'll probably keep this a little bit open. Okay, perfect. Got some people moving in already. Actually, this is rather quickly they're moving in. Oh, and we be cautious not to get anyone on the highway. There we go. And not a whole heck of a lot of tiles, unfortunately, available on these roads, it looks like. Most of them are showing up on the our little highway thingy. But, c'est la vie. We will still take it. Alright, so let's get some shopping in here. Do this on the side of this avenue. And this is, you know, subject to change. We're just kind of seeing how this kind of looks. Just for the moment. Alright. Basically just getting ourselves a little foothold in this spot of the map. Oh, said we weren't going to zone here. Excellent. And we have just enough money now that we can get, I think, another school-type building. So I think we should probably get ourselves a high school for over here as well. We can start worrying about things like, you know, the university and stuff a little bit later on. Alright. Now again, I don't know if it's a mod or what it is, but I don't like when these tiles, they'll jump ship like this, right? A little bit frustrating. But that's okay. I mean, in the grand scheme, it's not the worst. Okay, so a high school, this is a really cool looking one. And we can even do this like that. Cool. Quite like that. Now these buildings here, unfortunately, are all abandoned. I imagine because they did not get, oh, they're calling for garbage. Because they didn't get the workers, right? Yeah, not workers. We're also looking like we're having issues with our garbage. Okay, have we unlocked the incinerators yet? No, we have not. Or we just don't have enough money. Aha! Oh, no, we actually haven't unlocked it. But I had the custom ones, which we could pay for. Okay, well, since we're about to fill up this landfill, what I'm going to do is just drop another one down. And remember what I was saying about, you know, once they're down type thing. So just be, you know, careful where you're going to put it. I'll put the other one just in the same ballpark, because why not? That's fine right there. Suits the area. And then when we get an incinerator, we can, you know, empty these and just move them on down. Okay, so power, definitely need to get some power to that building. There we go. Okay, I think we're okay. Nice little start to the neighborhood. And goodness, we need more power itself. Okay, well, let's just put a power plant in. Just when you think you have a foothold on the city, right? A curveball gets thrown your way. Now let's just put that right there. Okay, well, you know, I think we will call it an episode right there, guys. Not a bad little addition to the city, though. Definitely liking this. Looks pretty cool at night, too. Let's bring up the lights here. Yeah, you can kind of see. It's a good thing we put down that extra dump, because, unfortunately, getting some issues with the garbage here. But no, I quite like this. So this is basically the direction that the city is going to start taking. So we're hopefully going to do a lot more of this kind of style. And we'll open up a few more areas, just kind of leave them maybe a little bit more centered and squared, just so we can do some just big public spaces, you know, with the church on one end, that kind of stuff. Those I can kind of see being like a little mini grid. And you know what, from the wide like overhead, I don't really dislike this, but we really should be doing a little more of this kind of style. Okay, well, I guess that's it, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you sticking with it. And I will see you in the next episode, and I look forward to reading the comments. And until then, take care of yourselves.